where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value.
Design Exchange.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
At 10:01, 22 degrees, the high today, 29 and sunny. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Eric Bilstead. Happening right now in Washington. State funeral for our 39th president of the United States, Jimmy Carter, is taking place right now at the National Cathedral in Washington. This will take place ahead of his burial back home in Georgia. Speaking earlier,
my grandfather spent the entire time I've known him helping those in need. He built houses for people that needed homes. He eliminated diseases in forgotten places.
That's Joshua Carter, grandson of the former president. Also speaking earlier, eulogizing, was the son of Vice President Walter Mondale for Jimmy Carter. Mondale has passed away, but his son read a eulogy that he had written before he died for Jimmy Carter.
Every time I went to church with him, it was packed. The line started before sunrise, and I was always very thankful that I got to walk in with my grandmother. And as soon as we sat down, Sunday school would start. My grandfather always began by asking if anybody had been in his church before. My grandmother and I raised our hands, and almost no one else did. And then my grandfather would poll the congregation. And we'd quickly find out that the church was full of people from all over the country, of all different backgrounds and beliefs. And my grandfather would address the most diverse Sunday school class ever assembled.
And that Joshua Carter speaking there. President Biden expected to speak later this hour, and then
after the funeral here, Carter will make one final trip home to Plains, Georgia, where the family will have a private funeral and where he will be buried at home next to his wife of 77 years, Rosalind Carter, in the town where both of them were born.
Firefighting efforts continue across Los Angeles County in Southern Cal, trying to slow several destructive wildfires before strong Santa Ana winds return as they are expected to. ABC's Alex Stone.
There is kind of an eerie still here right now. There is no wind, but we know Santa Ana winds are coming back later on tonight. All of the buildings around me here in Altadena, they're gone. As I'm looking around here, what were shops and offices, they're all gone. Homes are gone. In front of me, it says Lake Chiropractic Center. It's gone. Just now, smoking gray ash.
The wildfires responsible for at least 5 deaths as they continue to contain them. Here at home, the head of a controversial Milwaukee department is leaving city leadership.
One day after Milwaukee police announced a 12% reduction in crime since 2022, director of the city's Office of Community Wellness and Safety, Ashanti Hamilton, tendered his resignation. Mayor Cavalier Johnson says Hamilton's work leading the department, formerly known as the Office of Violence Prevention, contributed to the nearly 40% reduction in Milwaukee homicides over the last 2 years. Hamilton's previous work at City Hall included a stint as an alderman and later as the Common Council president. Hamilton is reportedly taking a position in the private sector. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Time now for news about your money, the WTMJ NX Wealth Management Market Update. Stocks are not trading. Wall Street is closed today in honor of the national mourning taking place for the passing of Jimmy Carter. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather next. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:05.
This report sponsored by the Fireside Theater, the ultimate Elvis tribute musical.
Push one for the money, two for the show, three to get ready now. Go, cat, go.
Elvis is back in the building at the Fireside Theater in Fort Atkinson, and you've never seen anything like it.
Since my baby left me, I found a new place to dwell.
Back in the building features a rotating cast of the finest award-winning Elvis tribute artists and Anne Margaret, all backed by an incredible live band and ensemble. Experience the eras of Elvis in this legendary feel-good show. From the 50s to the movies, the 60s comeback to the rockin' 70s. It's all here.
Oh, see, CC Rider.
Every ticket to the Fireside includes a superb dinner prepared by award-winning chefs and a chance to visit their spectacular gift shops. Hurry, tickets are going fast. Call 920-563-9505 or visit firesidetheater.com. Elvis back in the building, live on stage, January 9th through February 23rd. Only at the Fireside Theater.
So how do you underpromise and still get the job? We believe in our hearts we're going to do great work for you. We're just really careful about making unrealistic promises. At Semper Fi, we refuse to set the bar higher than we can jump. But be assured, that's the goal. To do all we can to jump as high as possible to try to exceed your expectations. We're looking to break records. That's how you win over customers, get really great referrals, and build a great business. When you're making a decision to hire an exterior remodeling company, character, integrity, and the feeling that the people you're about to hire are truly eager to show you how good they are should stand at the top of your list. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. Bucks come away winners over the Spurs at Fiserv Forum. An easy win, 121-105. Up next, two-game road trip starting tomorrow night in Orlando. UWM falls to Purdue Fort Wayne, 78-73. The Panthers will play the UW Green Bay Phoenix at home on Saturday. Orange Bowl tonight, Notre Dame and Penn State in the semifinals of the college football playoffs. The winner tonight will play the winner of the Cotton Bowl. That's Texas or Ohio State. They play tomorrow night. WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. Looking good on the roadways right now. 94 eastbound, Highway 16, through the zoo and into downtown. For the most part, you are clear getting through that stretch there. Should be about a 17 or 18-minute trip. 4145 south, Highway Q to the zoo is clear. It's 15. 43 southbound, no problem from Brownview Road into downtown. The WTMJ 5-day forecast for the day today. Sunny, a high of 29. Tonight, there's a chance for some light snow late, otherwise cloudy, a low of 23. For Friday, a little bit of that snow early on. Cloudy, otherwise, a high of 31. Saturday, 28. Sunday, light snow, likely 32. Could see some accumulation on Sunday. Monday, cloudy, breezy, with temps dropping, a high of just 23 on Monday. Right now, 22 degrees. I'm Eric Bilstead, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 10:09.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, it's time to fast forward. Welcome to the future of almost everything in Wisconsin on the Upswing. Presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs. Joining WTMJ's Jeff Sherman, here's Martin Moore.
I've been to the year 3000, and not much has changed, but they lived underwater. And your great-great-great-granddaughter.
Good morning, Wisconsin. Good morning, Milwaukee. The future of almost everything. That's what we do on Thursdays with Martin Moore. I say almost everything. You know, we're mainly technology and business, community-related topics today, but it doesn't preclude us from touching on other future-related topics. So I always appreciate the ideas and the input via, whether it's social media or the emails I get. You can always use the Outdoor Living Unlimited the Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line at 855-616-1620 to provide ideas as well. Today, we're going to touch a little bit on some robot lawnmowers, the fastest growing jobs in the market and all around the country. First up, though, social media alternatives, the future of platform use and monetization with hashtag MKE founder J-Matt Jeffrey Mathias. I like having another Jeff on the show. J-Matt's going to join us right after the first break. National Day of Mourning today, obviously, with President Carter's funeral. With all the talk on craft breweries in the area, it's fitting to see so many stories and tributes calling Jimmy Carter the father of craft beer. If you remember this, Martin, in 1978, President Carter signed into law a beer that legalized home brewing And really, like a lot of laws like that and inventions that kind of start in the garage, it moved into big industry and created the craft beer world that we're living in now. So, a lot of legacy with President Carter for sure, home building and much, much more. But, we can kind of hang our hat on the craft brewing father here in Milwaukee. I have somewhere in my beer can collection, Billy Beer. That was named after President Carter's younger brother, brewed in the 1970s. I got to pull one of those out of the collection. Probably worth.
How old is that?
Late 70s. It was.
Is it
brewed.
drinkable?
No. Mine's
Boy, that's
not
a
full.
TikTok.
But I've heard like a 6-pack of Billy Beer. It has a little bit of value. So
you could retire early.
I'm going to check my parents'
buy a Ferrari.
Parents' basement for sure. All right, as we do each and every morning, let's go 2 Up.
Now it's time for the 2 Up on the Upswing.
First up, $10 million fireside market is coming to Brown Deer. It's a 2-acre site at 4750 West Brown Deer Road that was previously a part of the former Right Height Holding Company that will become a 10,000 square foot fireside market convenience store and gas station. It's being developed by Milwaukee-based Sagewind Development, the firm that's connected to the Forest County Potawatomi community of Wisconsin. The fireside market's going to include a quick service restaurant, a drive-through, electric vehicle charging, indoor-outdoor fireplace, kind of that full, hey, gas stations are a whole lot more than just providing gas and electric for our cars. It's about that whole experience. The Brown Deer Building Board approved the architecture for the project on Monday evening, and the Village Board approved the land use and site plan for the project in December. Fireside has another location that they broke ground in Slinger, but this will be the first location in southeastern Wisconsin. Next up quickly here, BNPL. The use was way up. It was on the upswing. What's BNPL? Buy now, pay later. Lot of interest over the holidays. More holiday shoppers than ever leaned on services like Klarna, Affirm, and Afterpay to buy gifts this season, according to new online sales data that was just released yesterday. You're seeing a lot more of that use integrated into e-commerce sites now. It's not exactly a credit card, interest-free, but you can break up those payments into 2 or 4 depending on your credit levels. Buy now, pay later, coming fast, coming furious. When we come back, speaking of fast and furious, lots of changes in social media. We're going to look into many of the changes, including community notes and moderation on Facebook. This is The Upswing. You're listening to WTMJ.
Throughout history, some people have been born into greatness because of their name or family. Others gained greatness because of their actions. On Wisconsin's Morning News, we celebrate everyday heroes, the John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they woke up one morning they'd be saving a life. Everyday Heroes, Thursday at 6:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
Founded by inventors, fueled by community, and focused on business. It's WTMJ's Jeff Sherman for Horicon Bank. They've been doing banking differently since 1896. Financing requests can be approved in days, not weeks, because your banker understands you and your business. Service and products go hand in hand. They provide top-notch products to meet your cash flow needs. And Horicon Bank gets the job done. Together, doing good. That's their vision, and they're committed to doing what it takes to help your business. Horicon Bank, truly the natural choice. Member FDIC.
Looking for the most popular answer. What's the worst thing about Wisconsin winters? Gina Della from Pella.
Finding a sitter when snow closes school. Yay! It's the time of the year when we just want to be all warm and snuggly at home. And Pella helps make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. With inviting doors to let friends and family in and beautiful, energy-efficient windows to keep the cold out. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement.
At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
Welcome back to the Upswing, the future of almost everything, community and commerce. Jeffrey J. Matt Mathias joins us. J. Matt's the founder of hashtag MKE, celebrating 8 years tonight. We're going to talk about that group in a bit. So many changes in social media. I thought it was time to have you on the show, joining another social media expert, Martin Moore. So, J. Matt, thanks for your time. Thanks for coming in studio. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So, Meta is embracing this all-new fact-checking program that X users have kind of called, hey, it's like playing whack-a-mole, right? Users on X can spend tons of time debunking this conspiracy theory, only to watch another one kind of prop up instantly. How do you think community notes in moderation are going to help and hurt Facebook and Threads and Instagram?
I think community notes is positive in the sense that more people can call out things that they're seeing, but you're not calling these things out until they're going to get a little bit of traction before a time where people are already getting the misinformation.
Yeah. Does it provide a more community approach to it, or does the free speech on the platforms go off the rails really even faster now?
I don't think free speech will go off the rails any faster. They're saying they're taking away their own internal moderation to try to open it up more. But I think it should be something where that still exists and it's maybe adjusted a little bit. And then you bring in community moderation and you have a pairing of the two, not just one.
Yeah. Okay.
The biggest thing I think with community notes is by the time the users in the community have fact checked something and put a note on it, the damage is done. The conspiracy theory, the misinformation, the AI video or photo, it's already been shared, it's been commented, it's been liked, and it's too late. It's very reactive, which I personally don't like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Meta alone has acknowledged that kind of a move to this user-based program. It's a trade-off, right? I mean, inevitably, you're going to allow a little bit more bad stuff to circulate on Meta's platforms because it is a media entity, but they're not a publisher or there aren't journalists working. It's a distribution platform.
Citizen journalism.
For content. Right.
Right.
So,
which isn't a thing.
Yes. So J. Matt, you've worked with a lot of big brands on sponsored content. How is that game changing kind of in light of all the changes in social media now?
I don't think it's really negatively impacting it. Everything evolves. Advertisements have changed from radio to television to the internet to social media. It's always existed, and there will always be that opportunity to make money through content creation. It's just depending on, is it going to be TikTok? Is it going to be Instagram? Is it going to be Pinterest? It's a variety of places. Yeah. And even if one goes away, the opportunities don't go away.
Yeah. I mean, how do you see the TikTok process working its way through?
I'm just going on the idea that the TikTok ban is going to take effect and we've got to adjust. The nice thing would be is if it doesn't get banned, and I'm on board for that. However, strategically, it makes more sense to plan for the inevitability that it does go away.
Mm-hmm.
Diversify. It's like banking on Social Security.
Exactly. Yeah, right.
Don't.
You have multiple audiences, multiple communities, and don't put all the proverbial eggs in one basket. When we come back, Jeff, I want to get your advice for small businesses that are still kind of getting into the social game. I think, having the content calendars, what does content creation look like on the small local business level? Because it can be a full-time job. Mm-hmm. And it can be overwhelming for a lot of companies, but it's a necessity if you want to build and grow business, especially in 2025. This is The Upswing, and you're listening to WTMJ.
Tony Drake here from Drake & Associates. Big news. Our Retirement Ready radio show is moving to a new time slot. Catch us at noon every Saturday. At Drake & Associates, we craft tailor-made plans that not only meet your financial needs, but align seamlessly with your unique lifestyle. Tune in at noon on Saturdays and get retirement ready.
Drake & Associates, LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates, LLC does not provide legal or tax advice.
Join the roar of 18,000 Bucks fans at Fiserv Forum and be a part of the slam dunks, game-changing plays, and electrifying victories live. Witness the edge of your seat action and unforgettable moments as they happen. You don't want to miss this. Grab your calendar, handpick your favorite matchups, and secure your seats for Dame time in Milwaukee and every incredible moment that comes next at bucks.com/tickets. That's bucks.com/tickets.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is this weekend only inside the arena at the Waukesha County Fairgrounds. Millions of inventory must be sold. Prices are slashed up to 60% off retail, so save thousands. Save big on new hot tubs, spas, and saunas. Also cold tubs. Plus, see the Michael Phelps Signature Swim Spas by Master Spas.
Hi, I'm Michael Phelps. Join the swimming revolution.
The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show this weekend only inside the arena at the Waukesha County Fairgrounds. Visit 800spasale.com.
You're right, and I'll agree. It does sound too good to be true, but offering you affordable treatment that alleviates pain, which really does work, that we've seen in most cases insurance paid for in full, is a definite reality. It's pain relief, really. And these are FDA-approved treatments. They're safe and proven to reduce inflammation and alleviate pain. Yeah, you'll have to get a couple of shots, and I know that can scare people. But the needle is extremely small. And after giving shots like this hundreds of thousands of times, you'll see we make it very easy. You're going to feel the relief that our powerful pain relief agents give you. They're pain relief drugs that solve pain problems. And the way I feel is that Rejuvenex should be the first stop for anyone living with pain in shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees. At $65 per joint, per injection, it's probably the most affordable pain relief option available that actually works. Rejuvenex Google reviews will tell you more.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. You business owner, I got a perfect way for you to freshen up your business. How about a fresh coat of paint? Call your neighborhood CertaPro painter. Ask about their color consultation services. I use CertaPro. They're the best. They're affordable. They're efficient. They do things the right way. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. Homeowners, this is a way to freshen up your house like we did. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. That's the guys I trust. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman, joined by Martin Moore and Jeffrey Mathias. J-Matt in studio this morning talking changes in social media. So, I've had a lot of people say in the last couple of days, Jeff, we're on the brink of a social media war. It's coming. Blue Sky is seemingly beating True Social. And you look at all the metrics there. Blue Sky is, up to a little over 5 million unique visitors. True Social kind of down to 4 million. What do you think the evolution of new platforms will look like in 2025? And what are 3 of your big social predictions for the new year?
I'm fascinated that you bring up Truth because I didn't even know they were in the conversation.
Hey. I bet
you
in the conversation.
I bet MySpace has as many users.
Well, I think the reason why Blue Sky is getting traction is because of X, formerly Twitter, and how so many people are down to leave X and find a new platform. And Blue Sky used to have the board member of Jack Dorsey, who used to be with Twitter, an original co-founder. And I think that's how Blue Sky got its traction as the exodus to Twitter. So Blue Sky, I think, will continue to grow and be that landing pad for so many that are looking for a new home. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of businesses are going to explore options that don't involve TikTok, but involve short form video. So YouTube Shorts, I think, will gain some traction, but I think it's also the most frustrating platform because a view there counts at 30 seconds, everywhere else is a millisecond, and a lot of people don't know that. So they see lower views on YouTube, get discouraged and back away.
Yeah.
And then I think AI really starts to play a role. I know it's already playing a role,
Right.
but AI avatars to help you make your content, I'm seeing that pop up on LinkedIn and other platforms. I think that continues to grow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great point on YouTube. I think you can have, as a creator, a really big community on YouTube, but that engagement can
Tough.
be really, really small.
As someone who's been on YouTube for a decade, it's tough. It's tricky.
Yeah.
It's definitely different than every other social media platform.
Yeah. What are you seeing on Facebook, J-Matt, on Facebook in terms of small businesses getting into the social game there? Has that changed over the years in terms of use by business?
You have to be there if you're a business owner. People just expect it. Facebook is hard to get reach on, though, and it's hard to start from zero. But if you're opening a business today, you have to get on Facebook. Restaurants tend to do pretty well on Facebook because it's recommendations. Your restaurant pops up. People can do reviews, that sort of thing. So it still has a place there. But Instagram is not one to sleep on if you're a business owner trying to raise awareness of your presence.
Yeah. What's your advice for small and medium-sized businesses that are still getting into the social game? And I'd love your insights on kind of the future of LinkedIn as well for small business owners.
LinkedIn is also a place worth being, and I know people are like, that's business to business. Well, behind every business interaction is a person. So it's just a more professional place to speak. But to small businesses, it comes down to capacity. What do you have capacity to take on? Sure, you might read a best practices that says post daily, but if you don't have capacity for that, don't do that. Do what is going to make most sense to you. Don't jump out of the gate with, I'm going to post 5 days this week, and then slowly you're drifting back to 1 day to no days, and then it's hard to get that momentum again. If you can post once a week, that's your frequency, go with it.
Yeah, a content calendar still the name of the game in your world?
It's great if you got one. I think a lot of people have them but don't use them.
That's me and cost.
It's a nice theory to have, and I encourage people to use it. But don't feel bad if you haven't checked your content calendar in a little while. It's a goal to have.
Yeah. Okay. Well, tell us all about hashtag MKE. What's happening tonight? Where the organization is heading, and first, what it's all about.
Yeah, hashtag MKE started as a networking community that meets once a month for content creators and marketers in social media. And it has really grown over the years. Free networking, basically getting people that know each other strictly online to meet in a safe, controlled environment offline. And tonight we're celebrating 8 years of hashtag MKE and networking, and we've got some KOS headphones that we're giving away to the first 10 that arrive by 5:30. We've got a Shrunk 3D trailer, which takes a 360 photo of you, and you can have a 3 to 9 inch miniature figurine of yourself.
We've had the founders on the show. It's a really cool concept.
They'll be there, and we're also giving away free headshots, professional headshots, because I think it's one of those things. How often do you have a professional photographer update your profile image that you can use for a LinkedIn profile picture? A lot of us have that one photo we really like from 10 years ago, and we don't look like that anymore.
Well, and that's another great tip for small business owners too. That consistency in your imaging, in your photography, and making it as high end as possible. It really helps.
Yeah,
you want to be authentic, but you got to be professional.
For sure.
All right, J-Matt, we appreciate your time. All the best with the event tonight and continued success with hashtag MKE and everything that you're working on.
Thank you.
All right. Next, we have not only the Mineshaft giveaway, but Martin and I are going to touch on a 3-part series on Fast Company that's looking into some of the dark secrets at Trader Joe's. So we're going to talk private label at Trader Joe's, and then USA logos and patriotism. Since the 1960s, the rate of use has dropped by 88%. A lot of companies paring back from the flag and use in their logo. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 10:30. ABC News and local headlines are coming up next, and we're monitoring the funeral of President Jimmy Carter.
This is a special report from ABC News celebrating Jimmy Carter. I'm Sherry Preston. Gerald Ford's son, Stephen, says his father died in 2006, but the eulogy he wrote for Jimmy Carter before he died continues to bring joy and pride to their family. Here's some of that eulogy.
By fate of a brief season, Jimmy Carter and I were rivals. But for the many wonderful years that followed, friendship bonded us as no two presidents since John Adams and Thomas Jefferson.
Also speaking, Ted Mondale, son of Carter's vice president, Walter Mondale.
Today we join in sadness to honor our dear friend, President Carter, for his extraordinary years of principled and decent leadership and his courageous commitment to civil rights and human rights.
After the service, Carter will be buried alongside his wife, Rosalind, at their home in Plains, Georgia. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 10:31. No wind at the moment in Southern California, but the winds are expected to return later on tonight. This as firefighters battle to control major fires in the Los Angeles area that are responsible for at least 5 deaths, also have destroyed communities from the Pacific Coast to Pasadena and caused thousands of people to frantically flee their homes. Here at home, honoring a Milwaukee developer Gary Gruno, who passed away in 2019, helped lead several large projects in the city, including the Riverwalk. And the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel says his role in the Riverwalk's creation will be recognized by naming a riverfront pedestrian plaza in his honor. The paper says the Common Council would need to approve that plan. Time now for news about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Stocks are closed today in honor of the national mourning for the funeral and death of former President Jimmy Carter. We now go live to Washington, D.C., to the state funeral where President Biden is set to give his eulogy.
An unassuming red brick ranch home reflects their modesty more than any trappings of power. We walked into the living room where Jimmy greeted us like family. That day, just the 4 of us sat in the living room and shared memories that spanned almost 6 decades. A deep friendship that started in 1974. I was a 31-year-old senator, and I was the first senator outside of Georgia, maybe the first senator, to endorse his candidacy for president. It was an endorsement based on what I believe is Jimmy Carter's enduring attribute: character, character, character. Because of that character, I believe, is destiny. Destiny in our lives, and quite frankly, destiny in the life of the nation. It's an accumulation of a million things built on character that leads to a good life in a decent country. Life of purpose, life of meaning. Now, how do we find that good life? What does it look like? What does it take to build character? Do the ends justify the means? Jimmy Carter's friendship taught me, and through his life taught me, the strength of character is more than title or the power we hold. It's the strength to understand that everyone should be treated with dignity, respect, that everyone, and I mean everyone, deserves an even shot. Not a guarantee, but just a shot. You know, we have an obligation to give hate no safe harbor, and to stand up to what my dad used to say is the greatest sin of all, the abuse of power. That's not about being perfect, because none of us are perfect. We're all fallible. But it's about asking ourselves, are we striving to do things, the right things? What values? What are the values that animate our spirit? Do we operate from fear or hope, ego or generosity? Do we show grace? Do we keep the faith? when it's most tested, for keeping the faith with the best of humankind and the best of America, is a story, in my view, from my perspective, Jimmy Carter's life. A story of a man, to state the obvious, you've heard today some great eulogies, who came from a house without running water or electricity and rose to the pinnacle of power. The story of a man who was at once driven and devoted to making real the words of his Savior and the ideals of this nation. The story of a man who never let the tides of politics divert him from his mission to serve and shape the world. The man had character. Jimmy held a deep Christian faith in God, and that his candidacy spoke and wrote about. Faith as a substance of things hoped for and evidence of the things not seen. Faith founded on commandments of Scripture. Love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and all thy mind and all thy soul, and love thy neighbor as thyself. Easy to say, but very difficult to do. In his life, in this life, any walk of faith can be difficult. It can be lonely, but it requires action to be the doers of the world. But in that commandment lies the essence, in my view, found in the gospel, found in many faith traditions, and found in the very idea of America. Because the very journey of our nation is a walk of sheer faith. To do the work, to be the country we say we are, to be the country we say we want to be. A nation where all are created equal in the image of God and deserve to be treated equally throughout our lives. We've never fully lived up to that idea of America. We've never walked away from it either because of patriots like Jimmy Carter. Throughout his life, he showed us what it means to be a practitioner of good works and a good and faithful servant of God and of the people. And today, many think he was from a bygone era. But in reality, he saw well into the future. A white Southern Baptist who led on civil rights. A decorated Navy veteran who brokered peace. A brilliant nuclear engineer who led on nuclear nonproliferation. A hardworking farmer who championed conservation and clean energy. And a president who redefined the relationship with a vice president. Jimmy and I often talked about our dear friend Walter Mondale, whom we all miss very much. Together, they formed a model partnership, collaboration, and trust, because both were men of character. And as we all know, Jimmy Carter also established the model post-presidency by making a powerful difference as a private citizen in America, and, I might add, as you all know, around the world. Through it all, he showed us how character and faith start with ourselves and then flows to others. At our best, we share the better parts of ourselves: joy, solidarity, love, commitment. Not for reward, but in reverence for the incredible gift of life we've all been granted. To make every minute of our time here on earth count. That's the definition of a good life. The life Jimmy Carter lived during his 100 years. To young people, to anyone in search of meaning and purpose, study the power of Jimmy Carter's example. I miss him, but I take solace in knowing that he and his beloved Rosalind are reunited again. And to the entire Carter family, thank you, and I mean this sincerely, for sharing them both with America and the world. We love you all. Jill and I will cherish our visits with them, including that last one in their home. We saw Jimmy as he always was, at peace, with a life fully lived, a good life, a purpose and meaning, of character, driven by destiny, and filled with the power of faith, hope, and love. I'll say it again, faith, hope, and love. As he returned to Plains, Georgia, for his final resting place, we can say goodbye in the words of the prophet Micah, who Jimmy so admired until his final breath. Jimmy Carter did justly, loved mercy, walked humbly. May God bless a great American, a dear friend, and a good man. May he be raised up on eagle's wings and bear you on the breath of dawn and make you to shine like the sun and hold you in the palm of his hand. God bless you, Jimmy Carter.
President Biden at the state funeral for President Jimmy Carter, who passed away. This is in the National Cathedral in Washington, D.C. The service will continue with a homily, also a performance from Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood, before eventually the Carter remains will be brought back to Plains, Georgia, where he will be laid to rest. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:43.
Hey, psst, check this out. There's free pizza today at the famous Mind Chef restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure. It is the best Thursday dining value anywhere. When you buy one pizza today, you get a second pizza free. Seriously, it is free. Buy one, get one free. Buy 5 pizzas, get 5 free. Hey, if you buy 10 pizzas, you get 10 free pizzas. Bring in pizza for your holiday office or company party. Half those pizzas are free, saving your company a lot of money. Coaches, bring in your team for free pizza today at the Mine Shaft. It's super affordable team bonding. Your players will love that world-class game room. The Wednesday and Friday fish fry is all you can eat, just $7.99. That's a crazy low price. Happy hour is 2 till 5 with half-price beers, cocktails, and appetizers. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh. The holiday decorations are beautiful. It's festive. It's fun. It's the Mine Shaft. Don't cook and clean. Walk into the Mine Shaft. Enjoy your free Thursday pizza, mineshaft.restaurant.com.
I haven't had anything to eat for days, and being hungry hurts.
Going without oil changes can destroy your engine, but it doesn't compare to the effect of going without food. That's why the Automobile Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee is determined to make sure no one goes to bed hungry. Through March 1st, they'll donate $1 from every oil change to Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 14 years, Adam has donated over $890,000, providing more than 2.6 million meals to people across southeast Wisconsin, the majority being children and seniors. And with today's ongoing challenges, the need is greater than ever. So help the hungry while helping your vehicle. Get your oil changed by Adam Dealer Factory Train Techs at a price as low or lower than independent shops. Visit an Adam member dealer near you.
For a list of participating dealers, visit adamm.com.
Fingers come in different sizes,
It's one of the first things you learn as a jeweler.
and a ring can only be sized up or down a little bit.
which means it's a really good thing to know your ring size.
And it's an even better thing to know their ring size.
This is why we're announcing
The Ring Size Registry at Kessler's.
we're doing it as a public service. It's completely free.
Free. Isn't that a great price?
Here's how it works.
Just drop into any Kessler's Diamonds location and tell one of the owners that you'd like to know your ring size.
Kessler's is an employee-owned company, so whoever greets you at the door is an owner.
They'll determine your ring sizes and add them to our Ring Size Registry.
Then, when someone wants to know your ring size,
Because, maybe they want to surprise you.
all they have to do is call or stop into Kessler's.
Surprises can be fun, don't you think?
We're happy to do this for you, even if you don't buy a ring from us.
But after you take a look around, we think you probably will. Visit KesslersDiamonds.com for a location near you and register your ring sizes today.
Welcome to our Everyday Health feature sponsored by the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. It's estimated 1 million people in the United States have Parkinson's disease, about 90,000 people diagnosed each year. Parkinson's is a chronic and progressive disease, meaning the symptoms become worse over time. Here to tell us more is Dr. Ryan Brennan, a neurologist with the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. Dr. Brennan, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Let's start with what is Parkinson's disease?
Parkinson's disease is a progressive neurodegenerative brain disease that primarily affects movement and can cause symptoms such as tremors, amongst other symptoms. And this comes from brain cells in the brain that particularly make the chemical dopamine, which is an important signal in our brain that's responsible for many functions, including movement, reward, pleasure, motivation, emotions, and hormone release.
Who does this disease most often affect?
It does affect both men and women, but men are affected slightly more than women. Average age of onset is around 60 years old, and having a first-degree family member with Parkinson's slightly increases your risk. However, the vast majority of the cases are sporadic, but we are seeing an increase in Parkinson's disease in the aging population.
What about signs and symptoms? What should we look for?
They really vary from patient to patient, but the most common ones that people notice or may prompt them to be evaluated by a neurologist are related to movement. Most people think of the resting tremor that you see, the shaking of the hand, but also slowness of movement, reduced facial expression, muscle stiffness, changes in balance or walking are the primary things people see. However, there are non-movement related symptoms that are very common, such as it can impact memory, mood, sleep, bowel function, and it can also affect people's voice and speech as well as swallowing.
Dr. Brennan, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you so much.
Find a doctor who's right for you by visiting freightert.com/movement or calling 414-777-7700.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman, joined by Martin Moore. First, we're going to give away a gift card to the Mineshaft restaurant in either beautiful downtown Hartford or just off of Highway 41 near the EAA in Oshkosh. Both locations, they're really creative. You got a ton of dining rooms. That's why they call it the Mineshaft. All these areas to explore, super affordable, a ton of fun, really family friendly. Your kids can hang out in the world-class game room quietly and conveniently set aside from the dining areas. Kids under 5 eat for free Monday through Thursday from the kids menu. Every Thursday, that's today, you buy one pizza, you get a second pizza for free. Caller number 6 at 855-616-1620 gets a gift card to the historic Mineshaft restaurant. All right, Martin, I saw this stat the other day that since the 1960s, the rate of USA logos and patriotism has dropped by 88% corporate America.
Wow.
The terms American, National, United, and USA now appear way less often in USA trademarks and corporate use. What do you think this is a reflection of? Is it about declining national unity? Is it more globalization? Is it that, you see the truck with the flag and you think this or that? Like, what are you seeing in this space?
I think it's a combination of all of those things. I think a lot of it is globalization. Definitely since the 60s, there is just a lot more companies selling and trading worldwide. And so I think a lot of U.S.-born companies maybe are trying to not sort of compartmentalize themselves and their brand in the country and be more accessible to the broader world.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of, I think we've seen a bifurcation of just the political parties, and, unfortunately, it tends to be where, you see a truck with an American flag flying on it, you automatically...
You think this one thing or the other thing.
Exactly. You create assumptions. And so I think maybe there might be people that and brands that are afraid to sort of associate one way or another. So I think it's a lot of things, but I definitely think we're coming back to the American flag and patriotism and nationalism being more celebrated on a national scale, in a more united type of scale.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, that's kind of my opinion on the whole thing.
And I think at the same time, these days, perhaps there's more branding on the local level. So you're seeing more use of area codes and the state outlines to reflect.
Absolutely.
I mean, the Bucks are doing it and other local entities are doing it. You're using the state of Wisconsin to reflect your brand because it's all about being hyper-local and a part of the community.
I think local pride has definitely taken precedence over, not that national pride isn't a thing.
Exactly.
We still do it. But I think brands and cities have really embraced local pride. And I think that's maybe where we've seen a lot of the shift as well.
Yeah. I always say if you can find that lovely mix of being national and local at the same time, that's where the rewards are.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Indeed. All right, we're going to go to break, and when we come back, we're going to touch quickly on the fastest growing jobs for 2025, go through a new list that was just posted on LinkedIn, get Martin's thoughts on the future of job creation. This is The Upswing. You're listening to WTMJ.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. I've got a great idea for your weekend. Hang out with me for a little bit on Experience Wisconsin. It's at 1 o'clock every Saturday. We will spin around the state, check in with some of the cool places and people that make Wisconsin such a fun place to live. This week on the show, it's going to be pretty cool. It's Elkhart Lakes Road America and Hayward Lakes. It's fun. It's informative. It's a lot of great stuff. It's Experience Wisconsin, Saturdays at 1 right here on 620 WTMJ. Won't you join us? It's Experience Wisconsin.
Founded by inventors, fueled by community, and focused on business. It's WTMJ's Jeff Sherman for Horicon Bank. They've been doing banking differently since 1896. Financing requests can be approved in days, not weeks, because your banker understands you and your business. Service and products go hand in hand. They provide top-notch products to meet your cash flow needs. And Horicon Bank gets the job done. Together, doing good. That's their vision, and they're committed to doing what it takes to help your business. Horicon Bank, truly the natural choice. Member FDIC.
Politics, work, daily stressors. Let's take a break from all that and get centered, Christ-centered. I'm Pastor Tim Butker. Join me each week for Christian Crusaders, a broadcast that highlights the gospel, the good news of Jesus, and our belief in the authoritative Word of God. Christ-centered, gospel-oriented, Bible-based, Christian Crusaders. Please join us Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ. We'd love to have you worship with us.
Eggland's Best, the only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best, better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Shop the January New Year's sale on better quality furniture and mattresses at Ken Michaels Furniture.
If you're living with joint pain in your shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees, and you have Medicare or Medicaid insurance, coming to Rejuvenex to solve your pain problems is something you should strongly consider. First off, because our FDA-approved pain treatments have been shown in many cases to be highly effective at reducing inflammation and substantially alleviating pain. Secondly, Medicare and Medicaid cover Rejuvenex treatments, so your cost could be nothing, or next to nothing at all. Chronic pain will only worsen with age. This leads to a far more compromised lifestyle, depression, and soon they start talking surgery. And then what? You have to get in front of arthritis and chronic pain, because the sooner you do, by letting us begin to calm those pain points, the better. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, and we can alleviate your pain so you can rejuvenate your life.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Lark.
I love the location, and that's the main reason Dave and I are there, is because of nature all around us. I knew when we moved in, I was leaving behind a lot of stress and responsibility. I decided now is the time to do what I want when I want to do it.
Schedule a tour today at 3pillars.org.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman, joined by Martin Moore, the future of almost everything. That's what we do on Thursdays. So the future of fastest growing jobs. We're going to put this on pause a little bit till next Thursday, but you can check out the 25 fastest growing jobs on LinkedIn. Number one, Martin, it's pretty easy, I think, to predict. Artificial intelligence engineer tops the list this year, but there were some really interesting ones in the top 10, including travel advisor, event coordinator, and security guard. So we're going to dive into that next show because I have some unique insights there, and we're going to see how it reflects on the local level here in Wisconsin. But as we're watching President Carter's funeral here, Martin and I were talking about just kind of Are funerals a place to celebrate life and connections and even network at? I always find it somewhat, I don't want to say strange, but when I go to a funeral, which I always find a lot of inspiration from funerals.
Really?
You're all there.
That is not what I thought you were going to say.
You're all there to celebrate the connections of everyone that is in that room. So I really appreciate hearing the stories of the person that has passed on and seeing the impact of their lives through others.
I have a slightly different experience, and maybe that's because I have a very Catholic family, but I've always felt like when I go to funerals, whether it was my grandparents or friends or something like that, it always just felt like a mourning of their death and not a celebration of their life. And so for me, when I think about my funeral, like open bar, buffet, and I have my YouTube channel just on repeat, people up there roasting me. I want people to be excited and leave happy that they went and not mourning me and upset that I'm gone. And so I really struggle with traditional funerals.
Yeah, I think it's finding that balance. You got to go through
the
all
networking
the stuff
thing
that
was
must be
definitely
done.
not on my
but
bingo
it
card.
sounds weird to say that funerals are about networking, but it's about the celebration of the impact on the community that the individual had. And I think we all grow by experiencing funerals.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, coming up next is Wisconsin's Midday News. And first, we're going to do some business headlines.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
A company called Cloverleaf Infrastructure is eyeing largely undeveloped land in Port Washington.